Hi everybody, welcome to another Faith-Free Family Moment. I'm glad to be with you again, and I'm glad to be walking through James with you. I'd like to read a couple of verses from chapter 1 as we continue to walk through this. Verse 9, "But the brother of humble circumstances is to glory in the high position, and the rich man is to glory in his humiliation, because like flowering grass he will pass away. For the sun rises with a scorching wind and withers the grass, and the flower falls off, and the beauty of its appearance is destroyed. So too the rich man in the midst of his pursuits will fade away. Blessed is the man who perseveres under trial. For once he has been approved, he will receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to those who love him." Last couple days we've talked about trials, obviously, and we've talked about the results of trials. We've talked about why trials overwhelm us. We talked about how we're supposed to respond to them, to consider and know and let. And that the reason we face trials and the reason they overwhelm us is we lack wisdom and we lack faith. And I want to talk just briefly about the reward for trials. What happens if we handle trials rightly? And how do we handle them rightly? I mean, James talks about a certain focus. He says the brother of humble circumstances. It's the brother who finds themselves in circumstances that maybe those around him would see as humble. You know, you look at our culture, and if you live in an apartment and maybe have a lower paying job, you're considered, if not have arrived yet. You're considered in more humble circumstances. That's the world's perspective. If you're where God wants you, you're living in a mansion. Rewards are out of this world. That's what you want. You want to be where God wants you to be. And so don't take your cues from the world around you. Higher paying job might not be what God wants. And God might want you working at McDonald's because that's his mission field for you. I know everyone else says, oh, it's a horrible place, you don't want to work there. But what if God wanted you there? Maybe that's the best place, right? And so it's all about focus, perspective. And then verse 10, he says, "And a rich man is to glory in his humiliation." What does that mean? Well, it could be a perfect scenario or a certain scenario James is thinking about. We don't know. But what he is saying is flip the tables. If you're a rich man and you face humiliation like losing all your money, it's not a big deal. Why? Because your money's going to fade anyways. As I told my son in a car ride the other day, you never seen a Hertz pulling a U-Haul. And so you're not going to be able to take it with you anyways. And so it's all about focus, right? It's all about perspective. When it comes to trial, your money doesn't matter. Some of those things that we put all our stock in really don't matter. What does matter? God's call in your life and whether you're going to follow him. That's the issue. So don't lean on those crutches that James says they're going to pass away. Any of these other crutches you lean on are not going to last. And so don't deceive yourself. And then he goes, "The sun rises with a scorching wind, it withers with the grass, the flower falls off, the beauty of its appearance destroyed. So too the rich man in the midst of his pursuits will fade away." There you again. Quit leaning on your crutches. Things might look beautiful, things might look enduring, and let's be honest, we tend to, overestimate the value of things. Instead, James says, "Blessed is the man who perseveres under trial, for once he's been approved, he will receive the crown of life. He will receive. It's in the future. To which the Lord has promised to those who love him." Isn't that great? Oh, that's a loaded verse. Verse 12 is loaded. It's a reward. The child of God who seeks wisdom, who trusts God through all of it, happy is that person. Now, some of you are going to say, "That's right, Pastor Matt, way to bring it. Way to share it. And you're going to leave, and 30 minutes down the road at IGA, you're going to forget it." And James doesn't want you to forget it. It's a focus. It said he's just got done talking about don't overvalue things. Don't begin to lean on crutches. But you need to look ahead and know that your reward might not come right now. But God sees it, and he'll reward you. God has a crown for you. Get it? After you've been approved, in other words, when the endurance has carried it through and it's had a perfect result. Remember, test means approved. This verse says he'll make us happy in a whole new way. You'll be able to minister in a whole new way. God will make you happy because we've been approved. Tested and persevered through the pain to glorify Christ. That unsinkable faithfulness will win us the crown of life. As Paul says in 2 Corinthians 4:17, for our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far, far outweighs them all. What a promise. Blessed, indeed, blessed is the man who perseveres under trial. And James, it's interesting, describes who that person is at the end of the verse. Who's the man who perseveres under trial? Those who love him. You see, it's awful difficult to persevere under trial if you don't love the one who allowed it. Loving Jesus Christ and loving him and following him just because of who he is will result in a different focus. And James is kind of putting this all together really neat for us, isn't he? And so there's a reward for persevering. And God's going to make you happy in a whole new way. And one day, when you graduate to glory, you'll experience a wonderful crown, a crown that he promises right here, called the crown of life. And you'll get to experience that because you dug in and you trusted Jesus today, which I hope is what you're going to continue to do. Have a blessed day. God bless.